becoming alert to invisible societal injustices. The heart of this is this national identity crisis, where people my age, really any age today, are hungry for purpose and meaning at a moment when we've lost our sense of American identity, lost our sense of faith, patriotism, hard work, family, the things that used to ground our sense of identity. That's what I think we're missing. I'm running for the presidency.
Thank you. Thank you guys for the warm welcome. We're going to speak the truth. That's how we do it. I'm going to get right into it. We are in the middle of a national identity crisis. You take it from me. I'm 37 years old. I'm the first millennial ever to run for U.S. president as a Republican. And I will tell you, thank you. I'll tell you what's going on in our country. It's true in my generation. It's true of all of us right now. We are hungry for a cause. We are hungry for purpose and meaning and identity at a time in our national history when the things that used to fill our void, faith, patriotism, hard work, family, these things have disappeared. And that leaves a black hole in its wake. What happens when you have a black hole that runs that deep? The poison begins to fill the void. Wokeism, transgenderism, climatism, COVIDism, depression, anxiety, fentanyl, suicide. You think it is an accident that we see the same secular religions in the United States at the same time? It is not. These are symptoms of a deeper void in our country. And I think that is our opportunity now, as a conservative movement, to now finally level up and say we are no longer just running from something. We're going to start running to something, to our vision of what it means to be an American today. You ask somebody my age that question, what does it mean to be an American? You get a blank stare in response. That is the vacuum. That is the void. And now is our moment to deliver an answer to that question, what it means to be an American, that dilutes the woke agenda to irrelevance. Let's talk about it. What does it mean to be an American? It means we believe in meritocracy, the pursuit of excellence, that you get ahead in this country, not on the color of your skin, but on the content of your character and your contributions. That is why we will end affirmative action in every sphere of American life. It is a cancer on our national soul. It means we believe in the rule of law, that your first act of entering this country cannot break the law. That is why we will use the U.S. military to secure our own southern border. That is what it means to defend this country. It means we believe that the people we elect to run the government ought to be the ones who actually run the government, not this bureaucracy, the deep state, the administrative state that runs the show today. And that is why I've said that we're not just going to reform these agencies. When these agencies, from the Department of Education to the FBI to the ATF to the IRS, shouldn't have never existed in the first place, we will not just reform them, we will shut them down. That is what it means to live in a constitutional republic. That is what this campaign is all about. We are speaking the truth, the hard truth, without apology. We will do it without fear. We will speak the truth today. God is real. Unborn life is life. There are two genders. Fossil fuels are a requirement for human prosperity. Reverse racism is racism. An open border is not a border. Parents determine the education of their children. The nuclear family is the best known form of governance to mankind. Capitalism is the best system known to man to lift people up from poverty. There are 3 branches of government, not 4, and the U.S. Constitution is the strongest guarantor of freedom in human history. That is the truth. We will not back down from the truth. We stand up for the truth. That is what won us the American Revolution. That is what will win us the revolution of 2024. That is what it means to be an American today. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, don't worry, there's more. I'm just getting warmed up. So we're speaking the truth. Now let's get to the hard truths. I've said that other stuff before. This is the hard truth I'm going to say today. I would love to tell you that it's time to move forward. I believe we have to move forward as a country. I would love to tell you that it's morning in America again. Kumbaya, let's get along and move ahead and put the past behind us. There will be a time and place for that. But we cannot move forward in this country until we have truly reckoned with the truth of what happened in this country in 2020. And we're going to talk about that truth in the open. There is no healing without acknowledgement. You want to know the truth about 2020? Let's talk about it. From COVID to censorship to the election to January 6th. They will tell you that January 6th was caused by a single man whose name is unspeakable. His name is QAnon. Now, the truth is this. January 6th was the result of a pervasive culture of censorship across this country. And when you tell people they cannot speak, that is when they scream. You tell people they cannot scream, that is when they tear things down. And what happened in this country, that starting in 2020, we were told that there's a pandemic that we know began in a lab in Wuhan on the other side of the world. We knew it then. But you could not say it or else you were a racist. You could not say it or they would lock your social media accounts down. You were told that you had to stay locked down in your homes and you couldn't protest a lockdown. You couldn't talk about school lockdowns on social media. You had to stay locked in your basement even as BLM and Antifa traveled the streets of this country and burned them to the ground. You were told that it takes somehow 10 years to make a new medicine or a vaccine, or else you can't take it unless it's safe for 10 years. And yet, they develop a vaccine in less than a year and they mandate that you take it without asking any questions. And you were told that if you disagree with all of this, that if you don't like the direction of this culture of censorship and authoritarianism in the United States, that you have an election to set this right. That in our republic, you get one person, one vote to hold the people in charge accountable. And you were told that you had a chance to actually deliver it. And yet, on the eve of that election, a story is published about the Hunter Biden laptop story that we now know was absolutely grounded in truth, from bribes paid from China to, remember this one, bribes paid from Burisma, a Ukrainian company whose owner was on the board of the State National Security Council paying bribes, to now the son of the President of the United States, that is now making good on that bribe by sending $200 billion of American taxpayer money to defend somebody else's border halfway around the world instead of defending our own border here at home. You were told that we actually had an election in this country, and yet, what happened? They did not let you send that story on social media. They shut down the account of the fourth largest paper in circulation in the United States, the New York Post, founded by Alexander Hamilton. That is how you get to January 6th. And so that is the truth, and we're not going to be able to move forward until we look ourselves in the mirror and ask ourselves deep down who we really are as a people. My rule is, if Vladimir Putin were doing it, and we would call it a threat to democracy, it is a threat to democracy when we do it here at home ourselves. That is the truth. And once we acknowledge the truth, then we can have a conversation about actually moving forward in this country. I grew up, I'll tell you about it, into a generation where we were taught to celebrate our diversity and our differences, so much that we forgot all of the ways we are really just the same as Americans. That's what we've forgotten as Republicans, as conservatives, as Americans. There are people in this race who are deeply upset with me for not criticizing my chief opponent in this race, Donald Trump. And I will tell you, I'm not running against anybody in this race. I am running for our country. That is what we actually need to revive. We need to stop running from something. We need to start running to something. Our diversity is not our strength. Our strength is what unites us across that diversity. Without it, think about it. We're really just a different looking group of two-legged higher mammals walking some geographic space we call a country, doing what our iPhones told us to do on a given day. That's not America. America is a vision of what that place can be. E pluribus unum, we say for a reason. It means from many, one. That's what won us the American Revolution. That is what reunited us after the Civil War. That is what won us 2 world wars and the Cold War. That is what still gives hope to the free world. And if we can revive that dream over group identity and victimhood and grievance, then nobody in the world, not a nation, not a corporation, not a virus is going to defeat us. That is what American exceptionalism is all about. And that is what we together will revive to save this great nation. Thank you all. God bless you. God bless your families. And God bless our United States of America. Thank you. Thank you.